Oh, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the DOLCE Lifestyle channel. I'm your host, Jason Danger. I don't know why I keep doing that. I do apologize. This is specifically made for you quarantined viewers out there. I know who you are. And the context of this video is specifically for, or it has been created for not just recommendations in this case, because I make a lot of those on different videos, but this is specifically if I were stranded on a desert island, or in this case, quarantined, what movies, what films would I absolutely have to have with me? The top 10. Top 10, I can only have 10 of them, and that's it. And these are movies that I like in a way that I can only have 10. What they have to be that I watch over and over again, and I love them. And then you can respond with your own if you want to. So while this is not a recommendations list per se, clearly I would recommend any of these films. Remember I said that they're 10? Well, I have bonus material for you. So, honorable mention. I have several honorable mentions. Let's start with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I hope that you've seen this. Johnny Depp at his greatest, and he is, based on a true story, he is interpreting Hunter S. Thompson, and he does a fantastic job of playing him. In fact, Hunter S. Thompson is actually in the movie during a cameo role, towards the middle of the movie where he plays. And I'm telling you, he's just like him. It's amazing. He actually lived with Hunter S. Thompson during this movie for a brief period to get to know his mannerisms and how he thought. And they became fast friends and were friends up until the time of his death. In fact, I think Johnny Depp gave the eulogy. I know for a fact that he shot his ashes out of a cannon per Hunter's request. So this is one of those adventures of written from his book, or taken from his book, where it's just a drug and alcohol infused Vegas adventure. This is one of those films that when you watch it, you might want to be drunk when you watch it, or high, or whatever you like, because it's almost like being on an acid trip just watching it. It's strange, but fantastic. Another honorable mention. Boiler Room. Now I had to have at least one sales movie on here, and this is the one I chose. Giovanni Ribisi's in it. Vin Diesel's in it. Fantastic. Good movie. Check it out. Alright, here's a guy movie of all guy movies. I didn't put Rambo on here because I would not put that in my desert island. But you gotta have something equally as manly if you're going to be on a desert island or in quarantine. And that would be 300. Based off the epic, legendary 300 Spartans that defended Sparta in Greece against the Persians. I think this came out in 2005, 2006. I remember when this came out, it was quite legendary and remains so. Awesome. And if you want to get pumped up for your workouts, watch this beforehand. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Fantastic. Feel-good movie. Soundtrack's not bad either. I had to have a couple Clooney movies on here. Teaser. So this was one of them. I'm assuming you've seen this. If you haven't, it belongs on your list somewhere. Sideways. If you like great movie making, this was nominated for I don't know how many awards. Comedy, sort of. It's like almost like a drama comedy. But Paul Giamatti, which many of you may have not known. Fun fact. Paul Giamatti is the son of late great baseball commissioner. He was a Giovanni also, obviously. Anyway, his dad used to be commissioner. Thomas Hayden Church is in it. Sandra Ho. Anyway, fantastic. If you love wine and you like going to wineries and vineyards, great story, just fantastic. Alright, last bonus material, Up in the Air. Love this movie. Alright, let's get to the nitty gritty, shall we? Top 10. In no specific order, but we're going to go this round. Alright, now I put this one up. Casino Royale, the latest of the Bond franchise with Daniel Craig. This is the first one in that series that came out. This is probably the best of the Daniel Craig's thus far. The first one he was in. I've got to be honest, I wasn't sold on Daniel Craig as Bond, first of all. I thought Bond should have dark hair. I don't know. Call me biased. But, still good. Excellent, in fact. Or it wouldn't be on my top 10. I think I put this on here just because I feel like Bond needs to be on there somewhere. And if you're on a desert island or you're quarantined, then you got to be watching one of the Bonds or all the Bonds. Same thing for this one. Ocean's 12. Now, I could have picked Ocean's 11. I could have picked Ocean's 13. That's fine. Any of those work. I picked Ocean's 12 primarily because almost the entire thing was set in Europe. They're in Rome a lot. They're in Italy. I don't know. Makes me feel good. Love that movie. I love this whole series. Fantastic. Who doesn't love a good caper? I love movies like this. If you haven't seen this movie, highly recommend it. I like to sit down with some wine, some bourbon, and check this out. Anybody that hasn't seen this, I mean, this is one of those movies that I'll watch over and over and over again. I never get tired of it. It's almost like Back to the Future, which should also be in this list somewhere, if I didn't have the movie. Tombstone should also be on that list. Unforgiven should be on that list, but I don't actually have the movies in physical form to show you, but those 3 movies should be on there as well. Midnight in Paris is one of those movies for sure. Definitely my top 10 as far as quarantine movies are concerned. I'll let you check that out. This is a Woody Allen movie. It's quirky. It's got Kathy Bates, Owen Wilson, Rachel McAdams, who's in everything. I can't pronounce her name, so I'm not going to butcher it. But the French woman who's in a lot of great movies nowadays. She was in the gangster movie with Johnny Depp. She was in that. She's fantastic. She was in a few years ago, she was in the Spy movie with Brad Pitt. Phenomenal actress. She's fantastic in this movie. She's probably my favorite character. And I just love it. I won't ruin the movie for you, but he goes back in the 20s Paris, where all the artists are and all the great writers, and Picasso and Hemingway. Just phenomenal. You got to check it out. Great movie. Highly recommend. Okay. What list from a man would be complete without Top Gun? Come on. And the exciting thing is they're getting ready to do the Top Gun 2. It'll be released soon, assuming we get out released for quarantine at some point. Otherwise, I guess they'll put that on Netflix. But Top Gun, come on. If you haven't seen this, maybe you're a millennial and you haven't seen this. Well, shame on you. Put this movie down and get out there and watch the film Top Gun. I mean, I've spent, hours at work or during my day just speaking through Top Gun terminology, right? Where did who go? You know what I feel the need for? I feel the need for speed. It doesn't get any better than Top Gun. I mean, come on. A hip, heart-pounding combination of action, music, and incredibly aerial photography helped make Top Gun the blockbuster hit of 1986. Can you dig it? And he was shooting, at the exact same time he was shooting Color of Money with Paul Newman. And he actually had to come back. There's a scene in the elevator where she's in the hat. Kelly, what's-her-face is in the hat. And he's standing there. And he had to come back. You see his hair's a little bit different because he was shooting on the other movie. So, interesting. Since we're on the theme of planes, The Aviator. DiCaprio, The Aviator, where he plays Howard Hughes. First of all, Howard Hughes is a fascinating individual. I've got several biographies about him. There's a lot of bonus material about him on this, actually. Look, by the way, I know you can stream all these things or whatever, but I like the analog version sometimes. And plus, it's really hard to show you if I can't have something to show you. So it's nice to have a visual. That being said, this movie won 5 Academy Awards, rather. And this is a Scorsese film, which will not be the last Scorsese film on this list. Another spoiler. Check it out. It's a pretty long movie, but worth it. Alright, since we're on Scorsese, come on. Do I even need to say anything? I'm not going to say anything about this movie. I'm just going to let you look at this. Because if you haven't seen it, you need to stare at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself why. Based on a true story, at least loosely, about the Lucchese family. And this is Scorsese's Wheelhouse. Arguably his best film he ever made, in my opinion. Alright, down to nitty gritty, guys. Now, I cannot show you movies like 300, okay, and Top Gun and Goodfellas without throwing in the only acceptable chick flick. This is for you ladies out there, and actually, for you men. If your woman makes you watch, she demands that you watch chick flicks, or she's like, you know what, we never watch anything I'm gonna watch. You know what? If you can get her to watch this, now this is an older movie now. It's been out for a while now. I think it's like 90s somewhere, but doesn't matter. It's amazing. This is the only acceptable chick flick available, so use it wisely. Under the Tuscan Sun with Diane Lane plays the character. The book, which I have but I've never actually read, so I can't tell you about that, but it's based off a book. I freaking love this movie. So anybody that's been to Italy, loves Europe, loves travel, loves a good romantic story that's not too corny, not too cheesy, but more realistic and, makes you feel good. This is the shit. It makes you feel like anything's possible. You know why? Because it is. You could fly to Italy, especially, well, maybe not now because there's quarantine. But maybe after the quarantine, you could fly to Italy and buy a villa in the middle of Tuscany and make it work. Yes, you could, and be free. You can, but you don't. Why not? I'm going to. You want to do it together? Let's do it. All right. Under the Tuscan Sun. I love this freaking movie. So this is a chick flick that I can get behind. All right. Cheesy 80s movie. Don't care. You have to have some cheese in a quarantine. Cocktail. I've always had a little crush on Elizabeth Shue back in the 80s, especially. When I was a little kid, and I gotta be honest, still kind of do a little bit. She's not too bad. If you look at her pictures online, she's still doing quite well. Go Elizabeth Shue. Anyway, Cocktail, awesome movie, bartender movie, and cheesy 80s greatness. All right, last two guys. Fight Club. It's not about fighting. A lot of people watch this movie and think it's about fighting. And if you like fighting, you'll probably like it then too. It's not about fighting. Anybody that watches this, I've watched this movie 1,000 times, and what I love about it is every single time you watch it, you see or notice something different that you didn't notice before, and it's some lesson in there, something you can take from it and be like, I never thought of it that way. It's a really good perspective movie, and I love perspective every now and again, and it's just a different way of looking at things, and great acting. Brad Pitt's great in this. His character's great in this. Ed Norton is great in this. Meatloaf is in it. I mean, Helen Bonham Carter is in it. She's excellent in it. The whole movie's great. If you haven't seen this, highly recommend it. There's so many things to look for in it, and it never gets old. You can watch it 1,000 times. Like I said, you'll notice something different every time. But I think the coolest thing about it is it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for life. So it's really not about fighting at all. It's what it symbolizes, and like I said, you'll see something new. All right, lastly, A Bronx Tale. This movie is so great, so charming. I recommend this for anybody. This came out in like 93, I think. This movie is based off Chaz Palminteri's life. In fact, Chaz Palminteri, who's the actor alongside De Niro, was performing this on stage. I've seen this play. The play is even better than the movie, if you can believe it. The play is a one-man show playing 18 characters. Amazing. If you ever get a chance to see this on Broadway, watch it. I've seen it on Broadway. I've seen it off Broadway. I've actually met Chaz Palminteri after one of his shows. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's fantastic. But it's based off his own life growing up in the Bronx. And it doesn't get any better than this. Pesci has a cameo appearance. What else can you ask for? And if you like gangster movies, if you like a good story, if you like Italian themes, if you like just a good story, who cares? This is fantastic. It also has the kid from The Sopranos that went to jail for a short period of time when he was like 18. So really cool. And the little kid that plays the teenager when he's a kid, really cute little kid, really good actor. So anyway, I'm glad I could help you out. You can thank me later. But I hope you like the list. Again, I don't necessarily recommend these, but I recommend these. So these are movies that, since you're quarantined, I highly recommend you catch up on.